Hello, students. It's Mrs. Bodell. It's Thursday, and we're on page 953. Let me put my pen here. Page number 953. We're in chapter 12, lesson 8, 12.8, and we are working through this and almost finishing with our book. So this is the homework lesson from that we've already did from a couple days ago. And so we're just going to be looking through this. It says centimeter cubes were used to build the rectangular prism shown here. The table shows the number of cubes needed to do each layer. So this bottom layer is 3 by 2 by 1. It's just one tall, the bottom layer. And so that bottom layer has 6 cubes and has a volume of 6. The next layer up, of course, has another 6 cubes. It's 3 by 2 by 1, the volume of 6. The next layer has 6 cubes. It's 3 by 2 again with a volume of 6. And the last layer, that fourth layer, has 3 by 2, which is 6 cubes and the volume of 6. The total volume that it needs to build this prism is 6. There's 4 layers, so 6 times 4. And so that's a 2. It's 24 centimeters cubed. 24 centimeters cubed in that volume. Okay, let's do this vocab check. Fill in each blank with the correct term or number to complete the sentence. Volume is the amount of space inside. Oh, let's fix that. Got rid of everything except the one I wanted it to. Okay, let's try that again. Volume is the amount of space inside a three-dimensional figure. A cube with a side length of 1 unit is called a unit cube. So here's a 1 unit cube. It's 1 wide. The volume of a rectangular prism can be found by multiplying the length by the width by the height. Volume equals length times width times height. You can pause it here if you still need to write those down, but we're going to turn to the next page. Okay, number 8. Number 8, is that the right page? 954. Now let's go. There's number 4. Okay. For exercises 4 through 7, it says centimeter cubes were used to build the rectangular prism shown. How many cubes are in layer 1? So layer 1 has 1, 2 cubes by 1, 2, 3, 4. So how many are on that bottom layer? It's 8. 8 cubes on the bottom layer. And we're going to fill in this information. It was 4 by 2, and of course it was 1 tall. So that layer has 8 cubes, and it's a volume of 8. This is all going to be the same. And you can go ahead and put this line. Each layer is going to have a volume of 8. There's 5 layers. We multiply 8 times 5. 8 times 5 is 40. So how many cubes were used to build this whole thing? 40. So the volume of this prism is 40 units. You need to write this part too, and you put a little tiny 3. 40 units cubed. Okay, number 8. Samir knows, and if you need to go back, you can pause the video here so you can see that. Samir knows, sorry you guys, you can pause here. Let's see, pause right there so you can see the whole answer. Okay, there you go. Here we go, number 8. Samir knows that the volume of a prism is 40 cubic units. Okay, so we've got some unknown prism here. We don't know the size. We don't know the shape necessarily, but we know that it's 40 cubic units is the volume. He knows the width of the prism is 2. The height of the prism is 5. What is the length of the prism? So that's what we're going to figure out. Well, let's think about this. In order to get the answer, it's something times 2 times 5 equals 40. Something times 2 times 5 equals 40. Well, we can multiply in any order. So let's multiply these two first. What's 2 times 5? Well, that's 10. So something times 10 equals 40. Ooh, I know that. What times 10 equals 40? 4. So this length right here, this missing length is 4 units. 4 units. Okay, number 9 says centimeter cubes were used to build this prism. What is the volume of the prism? Well, remember volume equals length times width times height. So let's get the length first. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What's the width? 1, 2, 3. And what's the height? 1, 2, 3. So we have volume equals 6 times 3 times 3. And remember, you can multiply in any order because of the commutative property of multiplication. So you can do those whichever ones you want. You can do 6 times 3 first, and then you'll get 18 times 3. But you might not know that. You might not know 18 times 3. So instead of doing that one first, let's do, come on, erase thing. You can do it, thing. Erase. It does not want to erase that part. Okay, cool. So instead of doing 6 times 3 first, let's do 3 times 3 first. 3 times 3 is 9, and 6 times 9 is 54. So this is 54 units. 54 units cubed is my final answer on that. Okay, you guys, we're going to be working through this even more, so keep up the good work.